My name is Daniel, I'm also known as Constratti. I'm 24 years old now, and I first started like this art thingy with like guitar. So I was little, I was playing guitar a lot, classical, and I also did like some. I played on the stage once, and I did have some like concerts or sort of smaller ones. So yeah, that was kind of my main, my first contact with music. So after that, I started like doing drawings and stuff, and also photography, but like not in a professional way. I never like thought of going professional with anything, and this also applies to music. So yeah, I started going to parties in 2018, and that was also the year when I started making music. So it was like, I don't know, I fell in love with the genre, and then there was a moment where I thought like, man, I would really like to make this type of music, because like I just like the fusion of sounds, the way they played with each other. So they made like this groove you dance on, you know? So I was like, I might try this. And this is how it began. The first party was Soundwish 22, but I didn't have like any connection with music. I just had some friends who were going, and I was like, okay, let's go. That was a new experience for me. Like I didn't really understand this music. And yeah, it was just a brief introduction in 2017, I think. And then in 2018, I started like going properly. It was in university, like in the first year. Also 2018 when I started like partying. And I was speaking with like new guys, new people I met there. And I was like, man, I really like this type of music. I would love to start producing. So one day in October, I just downloaded FL Studio, and I was like, fuck it, let's go. So yeah, this is where it all began. I remember in that year, in 2018, there was not like a lot of social media things to teach you like how to play, how to make music, and to, I don't know, it was not so promoted on social media as it is today. I remember I was sharing like videos of the songs I made, like with the laptop and speakers, and I just put them on Facebook groups. There was the Romanian group. So yeah, people started like, I don't know, texting me. They're like nice tracks, keep it going and stuff. And another moment like when a guy told me about Bandcamp. He was like, man, you have such nice tracks, do you have Bandcamp? And I was like, what is Bandcamp? So yeah, that's when I also started to to sell my tracks. Then I also had like a track I made with My Lady, which was like the first track that really boomed. Yeah, and that was also thanks to the YouTube channels that were back then, like Rise and Storytellers. And then I don't know, the Pulse parties, the first Pulse from 2022, the party from Venice, from Local Club, which is like in 2023. So yeah, I think these were like the main ones. And also the pandemic. The pandemic was like a time where I evolved a lot, because I was staying home like 2 months straight, not going outside. And this is everything I did like back then. I wasn't doing anything else. I don't know, back then I was making music every day, every single day. I wasn't really going to uni anymore. I was just staying home. I started doing like releases on Bandcamp, EPs, and I just promoted them on the YouTube channels that I made friends with, also thanks to the Facebook groups. Like the Rise was the first one, and then Storytellers. With the help of YouTube, I started like also gaining recognition on Bandcamp, and this is how I was releasing back then. And for mastering, like, yeah, CKB, and he really helped me back then. He was like the first guy who offered like to master my tracks and stuff. Yeah, it was a track on it called Cloud9, which yeah, was really uplifting, and I really played to this day. Yeah, I really like it. I was going to parties, and I got inspired from the music I heard to parties. But like in terms of styles, I think Barut had like pretty big influence on my tracks, because I was hearing a lot of his tracks back then. I don't really remember now like other. Yeah, it was in Brasov. There was some guys who organized it, and they're like, yo, you should come and play. But yeah, I was making music for like 1 year, so I wasn't really into it that much. So it was a mixed party with trap and also like minimal. I was supposed to play minimal like in the morning, and they had trap music and drum and bass and stuff during the night. So I remember like going, up there at 6 a.m. in the morning, and everybody was like, we're like gone. And yeah, there were like 5 people. I just started playing, and a guy came to me and he's like, do you have this trap song? And I was like, no, sorry, I just play minimal. Yeah, it wasn't really a success. The most recent was in Brașov, in a small venue. Yeah, it was a more kind of bar, not really a venue with a lot of people. But yeah, it was fun. It was like intimate. I have to say the bass. The bass is like, for me, is the thing that keeps you moving. It's the thing that gives the track the main groove. So the other elements just go with it. Yeah, I don't really like to define my sound. I mean, when it comes to my specific sound, I think my sounds are like groovy, playful, colorful, and like more uplifting. And yeah, I'd see myself like at a big festival. I'd see myself at, I don't know, sunrise or sunset, or just sort of like a daytime vibe. So yeah, more uplifting vibes. Yeah, for me, I think one of the mentors I had was Distill Noise through his videos on YouTube. But when I started, I didn't have this thing, so I was just experimenting stuff. I was just watching random guys on random tutorials, not minimal type of tutorials, but like general ones. So yeah, I was just learning the techniques and stuff, and then I started developing my own kind of workflow, you know. But yeah, in terms of like recent people, yeah, Distill Noise for sure. Yeah, he also released on your channel, I think, the tutorial of his track, and yeah, I saw it and I found a lot of helpful tips and tricks on that song. Yeah, I'd say like the moment I feel stuck or like I don't have much inspiration, but I think that happens to everybody, to every one of us. I had moments where I tried, I don't know, making tracks, and I just started an idea, and I think the thing that I do wrong is like I just keep playing and playing it without making any modification, you know, any change to it. So then I started hating the track by the time it's complete, you know. And I think in terms of parties, I don't know, I'm in a spot where I need to like find ways to do more in order to rise, because it's not going the way it was going like last year or 2 years ago, you know. Yeah, I try to balance it now. I find I'm most inspired when I live life, like when I have a meaningful event, or when I go out and not sit on my phone too much, not sitting at home too much, and when I don't produce that much. Like I have times where I produce every single day. I make like 1 track in a day, and then the next day I make another track. I tend to get stuck this way. If I do a track and then I take a 1 month break, or like let's say a longer break, when I go back, everything's new again. So yeah, I think there are times, I don't know, for me when I go to festivals, it feels kind of like I'm in school, you know, in terms of like I see a track and I see the people's reaction, and I'm like, okay, maybe most of the people like this type of tracks, I should start making this type of tracks. Then I go home, I try them. Then yeah, when I play certain tracks and to get people attention, I just think, okay, maybe I should play more of this type of tracks. I mean, I try to be as versatile as possible. I don't really want to just have one style and that's it. So if I see that people want to, I don't know, have a much more uplifting vibe, or they want to go harder, I just give them harder. It gives you that, I don't know, you can be like in every state you want. You can be like very tired, you can be sick, you can be whatever, but when you play in that moment, like you don't feel any of it. Like I don't know, it just magically disappears. Yeah, it's a magic moment. I love it. Yeah, I also tend to do this now, and I really see it happening. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, back then when you went to Sunwaves or like a big festival, everybody was going for the music. People weren't really talking that much. People were just like sitting there listening to that like introspective music, and they're like just kind of meditating to it, you know. They're like in like a state of mind. Now, I don't know, maybe for some of them it's just normal now to go to parties. It's nothing new anymore. Maybe it's also the style that changed, because now you have like more dancey oriented tracks and not really introspective ones. So yeah, maybe it's just the way things go. Maybe it's just the Romanian culture, like just going more mainstream. Yeah, it fades away, it goes more mainstream, like it's not underground anymore. Yeah, there's a lot. First of all, there's Teku. Yeah, I'm living with him right now, so there's Mihai Paul. Yeah, we also had some very nice adventures together. And a part of that, like there's so many people that I meet everywhere I go. Everywhere you go, you have like a connection somewhere. You have a friend somewhere. Like I go to London, I have you guys. I go to, I don't know, Spain, I have another guy, you know. Everywhere you go, you feel like connected because you just meet new people everywhere you go and you keep some of the connections. So yeah, I'm very grateful for this one. So we were from different high schools. I knew he existed and it was the same from him, but like we never met before. So back then when I started posting my music on Facebook groups, he was doing kind of the same. So once he just called me and he was like, I need to live somewhere in Bucharest because he was staying at some place and he had to move. So he was like, are you staying alone? We had some common friends and I think he knew from them because I was staying alone. I was like, just, yeah, let's go. So
first you moved in.
yeah, and then we met. It was kind of weird, but yeah, it was nice. This was in 2020, I think. Yeah, in 2020, because like he moved in, and after a few months, he had to move out because we were back in Brașov. It was pandemic, and yeah, I don't know. It just happened. I really have no explanation for that one. Because like he was making music, I was making music. We were not doing any collabs back then, and people just started like booking us together. I was like, okay, maybe we should do this. Yeah, maybe it was a similarity. Like we didn't do anything to promote ourselves, like being a band or something, you know. It was just it was just random. So now, yeah, I'm using some hardware. I started with this thing, which is like a mono synth. This, I normally use it for pads, for basses and sequences, also for like textures sometimes. Then I got this one, which is like the Electron, like the analog rhythm is like a drum machine, and I really fell in love with it. I don't know, I feel like when you have less options, you get like more creative and you can do like more things. And then yeah, I got the Korg, which is like a very old one. It's from the year 2000, and yeah, it just has retro vibes. So yeah, this is what I'm rocking at the moment. So I just start with, I don't know, a kick and a clap and a hat, or sometimes just a kick, and then I started laying the bass. I just hum, I don't know, a pattern like and then I just go with it and see where it goes. But yeah, most of the times it changes along the way. I find it harder to do the open mind, to just go blindly. I don't know. Usually, yeah, I have an idea, or like I just start pressing things and see where it goes. But yeah, most of the time I usually have an idea. Started with Anonymous, which was like a guy from the same hometown as myself, and he saw my tracks on Bandcamp. He was like, okay, you want to release on my label? And I was like, okay, but they were unknown artists releases. I don't know how many people really knew how much of the tracks were mine, because I released like, I think 4 or 5 tracks on the label, and 2 of them just made 150k views right now. So yeah, these were like the first releases. And also Phonic House, which is like another guy from my hometown, and I'm still friends with him right now. So it was just like a really nice, very nice bond. So yeah, this is how it started locally. At the time, I didn't really see it as a good thing. Like I really wanted to put my work out there and let people know that it's me. But yeah, now that I think of it, I think it was maybe it was destined to be this way because it was the best way. When they see like an unknown artist, they just listen to the track. When you see like a name you don't know, usually you're less likely to click on the track. Yeah, I think it really helped back then. I don't know if it's gonna replace like the human touch of music, but at the moment we have to really start taking advantage of the technology we already have. Like I downloaded SynthGPT, if you know. So it's just like a plugin. You type the prompt of the sound you wanna make, and it just makes it for you. It's not like the best quality sound, but it's really interesting to see the capabilities of it. There's also like software of, I don't know, extracting vocals out of movies, out of tracks, and I also use that. It's a very neat feature you didn't really have back then. Also using ChatGPT for like tutorials, this also works. Back then, yeah, you had to like search for videos for it. I don't know, in my situation, like if I wanna learn something about hardware for my synth or like for the drum machine I have, I just write on it and it gives me the answer. It's insane. If I wanna connect, I don't know, this with this, or like just ask it, how can I do a different setting or something, it just tells me. So yeah, it's insane. At the moment, I really wanna make myself more present on social media and grow my social media more. I want to do tutorials. I want to do like, I don't know, in the future maybe label slash concept thing for, I don't know, organize events maybe. And yeah, this would be like my next thing to do. But mainly, I think social media is the most important thing for now. I think we're growing, we have evolved a lot, and now like the main focus is like social media. I think people are not buying as much tracks as they used to. They're not listening to as much. On YouTube, for example, there's not so many views as they were like in 2019. Buys on Bandcamp, they're the same. The market is really saturated now. You have a lot of tracks, you have a lot of artists, you have a lot of options to choose. The only thing to differentiate would be like to start something fresh, something new. You have to maybe start doing tutorials, start doing something, but just start doing something your way, you know, in order to be something new. And yeah, this is what I'm trying to do right now. I really get my inspiration from anything, but I think the most effective way is if you go to parties and you just listen to tracks, then you just go home more inspired. Let's say it's a moody day, I did a track once, got inspired from the rain outside, just could be anything. Or like I also have my most recent track I did like 1 week ago. I was staying like in my garden and there were birds chirping. It was like a really hot day and I just started recording with my microphone of my laptop and turned that into like a texture for the track. So yeah, pretty anything. Not try to please everybody. Yeah, because like it's an interesting thing between like doing your own thing and like also merging with what other people want, not in a way that you do tracks to please others. I don't know, it's a fine line, but from the beginning I really think that I'm lucky because like what I do really is what other people also like. So I think I have the style that goes with most people, you know. So it's uplifting, it's not really eccentric or I don't know, not anything weird, less underground, maybe bigger scene, more people. I think also like there's gonna be everybody like pretty present on social media also. Yeah, I think it's going someplace where it's like more what most people wanna hear, because like that's why I think tech house is that popular right now, because like it's a style that everybody enjoys, and I think music also tends to go that way. I don't know, I see a lot of tracks who are like popular now because they have vocals, a lot of vocals and stuff, and they're like really different, you know, another song. Right now, I think like it's nothing new really. Yeah, back then I remember there were a lot of festivals being made here, a lot of parties, but now I don't know, things just are a bit quiet. I don't know why. So now you have like 3 locations, or like 3. You have New Club, you have Guest House, you have like the Warehouse, 3 main ones, and then you don't have really festivals you used to have back then. But you also had like Picnic Phonic, House and Pădure. There were a lot of parties. Now I don't really see it like being that. Don't have like the parties are not like the way they used to be, like in terms of diversity. It was also like much better for me because like back then I was booked more than I am now. So yeah, now I don't know, you have like a lot of options. I don't think people really are that interested anymore in like going out to parties, at least not every weekend. Like back then I think like everybody was going like crazy at parties. Now people are saving like for the special ones. I don't know, I hope it works. It's gonna be like more parties. I also see like Nook Club has like a lot of different styles of parties, not only minimal and stuff. And I also see Guest House doing the same thing, which I think is good. It's like heading towards like a bigger club scene, not like the music scene, but like the clubs. Maybe we are more creative into the art. I think Romanians are really good at like music, movies, creative stuff. So yeah. Yeah, and they just started growing and growing. I think, of course, Sunwaves had like the biggest impact on it. Now you go to Sunwaves, you have like a lot of strangers, a lot of foreigners. I think there's more foreigners to Sunwaves than Romanian. And it was like this. I remember also at Sunwaves 22, like there were a lot of foreigners. So it's very good for the promotion of this genre. And it's now, I think, the most popular it's been. So just, I think just, it's gonna sound very cliche, but like just be yourself and don't give up. Just continue doing it. I had a lot of friends like back when I started making music, they were already producing, but they were not producing that much, and I just was doing this every single day. I was doing it so consistently that at some point I was just up here, and they were like at the same spot. You know, I think this is the most important thing.